We're here today with Angel Chelik, owner of Sea Level Workouts, and Angel's going to walk us through 3 great exercises to sculpt a Pilates physique. Thanks so much for being here, Angel.
Thanks for having me, Jessica.
Now, what's the first exercise we're going to do?
Pilates exercises are all about building trunk stability, or core stability, what we call. So today's movements are going to focus on being engaged through the trunk, even though we're adding in mobility in the upper and the lower body.
Excellent.
Go ahead and lie down. I'm going to have Jessica perform the double leg stretch. She's going to bring her shins to what we call a tabletop position. Lift your shoulders just a little bit off the mat. And as you lift the shoulders, you should feel a little bit of awareness right there in the trunk.
I feel a lot of awareness.
It's like the trunk is the trunk of a tree with our roots growing deep into the ground below us. So we're going to have constant awareness and engagement through this region. If you can draw your knees in a little bit more, that abdominal wall tightens, take your hands around and touch your toes. On an inhale, I'm going to have you shoot your legs out and shoot your arms back behind you. Inhale and exhale, scoop around.
That is challenging.
Inhale, lengthen again, and exhale, scoop. Excellent. Now what I want you to remember is that when you take your arms out and legs out wide, your stability is right there. If you feel any arching in your back, bring your legs to a little bit of a higher level as you extend your legs out. Wonderful.
Now, Angel, how many repetitions do you recommend people do?
I would start with about 8, and you can build all the way up into 12.
Okay, excellent. Now, that is a great exercise, not only because it challenges the core, like you mentioned, but it's also great because it just uses a mat, so you can really do it just about anywhere.
Yep. That one is the mat only, but we're going to do another exercise that involves the flex band for the upper body.
Excellent. Let's move on.
Wonderful. We're now going to transition to an upper body exercise, but of course, not forgetting about that core stability. You can see that Jessica has a flex band at the bottom of her feet and wrapped around her hand, so you can adjust that as needed. She's in a tall position, and this flat back is what we're going to try to maintain, but I'm going to have you lean back at a little bit of an angle just to bring that awareness and that tightening into that trunk again.
That's that core challenge you mentioned.
Yeah, that little shake right there, that's great, that's great. And your palms are up and your elbows are away from the body. From this part, I want you to think about only moving from the lower arm. So there's stability from the shoulder, and she's gonna bring her hands up towards the top of the shoulder and release. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, release. As you exhale, think about tightening that core a little bit more. Everything engages and then releases back out. Posture looks beautiful.
And now for this one, Angel, how many repetitions do we want
You can do 8 to 12 on this one as well, and for our final exercise. 8 is a great way to start for all of them.
Excellent, and I love this because as you mentioned, I can adjust the amount of resistance, so I can make it slightly more challenging the more that I grip the band, or I can make it a little bit easier by not gripping it as far.
Absolutely.
Awesome. One more exercise you have
We've
for
got
us.
one more for the glutes and the low back.
Let's move on.
Okay. This last exercise, Jessica, is about the glutes and the low back. So I'm gonna have you lie down. And your legs are gonna go into a frog position. So I'm gonna ask you to bend your knees so that your legs are at 90 degrees. Go ahead and flatten your feet and draw your toes apart. So the heels are together and your toes are apart. And then your knees naturally fall into about hip width distance. Okay. Keeping your feet flat and your chin resting on your hands just like you have it. You're gonna take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're gonna engage the low back muscles in the top of the glute to peel the thighs up off the ground. Inhale, lower. And exhale, press straight up. You can actually feel my hand right there. Lower down, that's where I want you to aim every time. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, press up. You feel that in the top of the glute and that low back?
For such a little movement, it is challenging.
And you know, you actually do feel a lot of core engagement, even on the front side of the abs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, Angel, for this exercise, you recommend 8 to 12 repetitions also?
Yes, that's a great way to start. The goal just being to think about getting your thighs to peel up off the ground and release. If you can't do 8, start with whatever number's good.
Excellent. That is a very challenging exercise, and another one that I love because you can do it just about anywhere, very minimal space, you can do it at home easily.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Angel, for showing us those 3 great exercises that you can do just about anywhere.
You're welcome.
For more great Pilates exercises, be sure to visit our website, www.acefitness.org, and we'll see you next time.